The Aztecs go on the road and beat a Pac-12 school, then a Pac-8 school. But if you ask head coach Rocky Long, it's just another game. Rocky, I got to ask you, because you and I have talked about this for a couple weeks. Did that win just feel like another win for you over Arizona State University?
Well, I think whenever you have confidence in your team, I think it's just another game. But I think our players probably got a little more excited about playing them than they did UC Davis because they were pumped up for the game. In fact, we got 6 offsides penalties on defense. That means they're geeked up a little bit too much.
How nice was it to see, Coach, for the young players elevate their game when they're going against a higher level of competition? Because that's a little bit of an unknown area as a coach.
Well, I think they were just fine. I don't think any of our guys think that they're playing a higher level of competition. I think
no. Then sorry, not than you guys are. Than UC Davis was.
Oh,
sorry,
Davis.
sorry.
Yeah.
No insult towards you at all.
I don't know. I just I think they were excited about playing in front of a 54,000 seat fancy stadium in Arizona, and I think that we raised our level in competition from the week before. I think the week before, I don't think they were too excited about playing UC Davis, but they were all jacked up to play Arizona State.
Rocky, I know that you put together a game plan. You put it together for 4 quarters, but somewhere in a game plan, you're probably hoping that something breaks, something gives. Maybe you have a home run. When you have a home run hitter like Rashad Penny, able to hit a home run as early as he did in that game with a 95-yarder, how much easier does it make your job as a head coach working through so many X's and O's?
Well, obviously on the board, everything's supposed to work like that. I mean, everybody's supposed to be blocked, and the running back's supposed to run through the hole and outrace everybody to the end zone. But most of the time, it doesn't work that way because everybody has to hold their blocks, and then he has to hit the right hole, and he has to make probably somebody miss, which he did. He ran through a corner and a safety to goal, but obviously that gives everybody confidence. I thought Rashad was the difference in the game. I mean, they supposedly have a big-time running back on their side of the field too, but I thought Rashad made the difference between the two teams.
Coach, Arizona State's head coach, he wasn't too keen on giving Rashad Penny too much credit, saying that they had some bad kicks, they didn't prepare their special teams unit properly. Looking back at his performance on special teams specifically, how much credit do you give to your guys, and how much was bad execution on the Sun Devils' part?
Well, it's obviously on which sideline you're on, because I thought if you look at that on film, that's beautiful. I mean, Rashad, he hits the right hole, obviously, but no one's even 4 or 5 yards from touching him, and then he's got great speed, so he outran everybody. So when you look at it from our special teams point of view, we executed perfectly. I mean, that's as pretty a kickoff return as I've ever seen on film. There wasn't one guy that wasn't blocked. There wasn't one guy that wasn't blocked the correct way. And all he did was run through the hole and then make the kicker miss and then outraced everybody else. So I'm sure on their sidelines they think that they didn't execute very well. On our sideline, it looked really good execution.
Yeah, I got a few things I'd like to tell Todd Graham. Rocky. Rocky Long with us on Xtra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego. 7:30 p.m. Saturday. Stanford comes to town at San Diego Stadium. Tickets available. This should be a great atmosphere here in San Diego. GoAztecs.com to find ticket information. But honestly, to that, about Todd Graham, when I watched that game, Rocky, and I said it yesterday on our show, I told Nick, and Nick's on an hour and 45 minutes sleep, so I shouldn't talk too much about my sleep schedule.
His coach probably is too, Judd.
Well, that's right. He's grinding away. But, Rocky, I was so inspired by your team, I couldn't fall asleep for well over an hour after that game. I felt like you guys went in there, and every chance you had to either make a tackle, dive on a loose ball, even Christian Chapman, when he got out in the pocket, I felt like he was ready to take every hit. I felt like for 4 quarters of football, you flat out wanted it more than Arizona State did. I felt like I watched that play out. Did you see that when you watched the film?
Well, I mean, I've been on the other side of this thing, and I'm sure I know how he feels, but there was no doubt who the best team on the field was. It was us. I mean, it was us from the very beginning. We were the best team on the field that night. On a different night, it might be different, but that night we were the best team on the field. I thought we still made a lot of mistakes, but we were the aggressor, and since we were the aggressor, eventually, not every time, but eventually you win most of the games.
When it comes down to combat sports, is that the number one thing, being aggressive?
I think it is, because I think you can make a mistake, and if you're aggressive enough, a lot of times you overcome those mistakes. And I thought we were the aggressor most of the game, and I think we controlled the game most of the time.
Do you see any added not aggression, but aggressiveness in this team? I mean, when you watch the film, does it impress you more maybe in recent years of teams that you've coached?
No, but I'm happy because the first game I didn't see it. I mean, I didn't see us blitz with the energy we normally blitz with. I didn't see us come off the line of scrimmage in the offensive line like we usually do. I didn't see us tackle like we normally do. But this week we did, so hopefully they're getting back to our tradition.
Rocky, is there anything more satisfying as a coach? You talked about the execution on the kickoff return than seeing your guys do their jobs the way you've drawn it up.
No, I think that's one of the things that coaches live for. I think that's the adrenaline rush. I mean, we saw it on the field, and you get an adrenaline rush. And then when you watch it on film, you get it all over again. So you watch it 10 or 15 times because that kind of stuff doesn't happen a whole lot.
Rocky, we talked about this in the Coaches Show last week, and we have a Coaches Show with Rocky Long every Wednesday, 6 p.m., an entire hour to not only look back at the game that was played, but look ahead. So that's coming up tomorrow. And we talked about Nick Bodden last week, your fullback, that came to San Diego State as a quarterback. Now, on the television broadcast, they showed him what he looked like when he first got there, and he's pretty, like all quarterbacks are. And then they show the photo of this season. He's 50 pounds heavier. He's got long hair. I mean, he's looking like an offensive lineman like Nick, not the pretty skinny guy now that we have. But you've got to love a quarterback that will accept the position as gritty and ugly as a fullback.
Well, obviously that's one of the great success stories because I'm with you. You know, quarterbacks they look really nice all the time, and then if anybody ever knocks them down in practice, everybody goes crazy and screams and yells and probably runs the guy that hit him off the field. But when he decided to be a fullback, you never know if they're going to develop that kind of personality. But obviously he has. And so that goes with the look too, I think. I mean, we're proud of the way he plays, but he's a big part of Rashad having the success that he does.
Rocky Long on with Hardwick and Richards. Coach, how comfortable are you with your sports information department trying to get Rashad Penny some Heisman attention early in the season?
Well, I think they do a great job. Now, I think we're fighting an uphill battle because last year I thought we had a running back that should have won the Doak Walker Award. And he was one of the final three, but he didn't win it, but I thought he deserved to win it. And I think if Rashad keeps doing what he's doing, I think he'll have a shot at those kind of awards. I don't think he has a shot at the Heisman just because of the prejudice against Power 5 and non-Power 5 teams. That's just the world we live in, and we do the best we can, and I don't think Rashad wants to play anyplace else because he would have a better chance someplace else. I think he's happy to be here.
Well, he certainly should be because he's going on the road and he's beating Pac-12 schools, and certainly wasn't single-handedly, but like I said, when you got a number of home run hitters like he's doing, that's going to make your job that much easier. Rocky, give us a little something when you've turned on the film. What do you see from Stanford? What are you expecting on Saturday?
Well, I see a mirror image, which is, I guess, complimentary. If you look at it that way, they're big, strong up front on both sides of the ball. They want to run the football and use play-action pass. We want to run the football and use play-action pass. It's flattering to know that they're doing the same kind of things we're doing. So you see a mirror image out there. This is a much better football team than Arizona State because of not just the players that they have. I think Arizona State was really, really talented. But what they do is very similar where it's tough guys win. And we think we're tough guys, and I think that's one of the reasons we beat Arizona State. Well, Stanford thinks they're tough guys too. I told our team the other day, and Nick will love this, that this is the kind of game you live for in football. I mean, this might be old school. Let it be old school. But back in the day, this is the games you look forward to see which team's the toughest.
When you're facing a mirror image of yourself, how do you beat yourself? How do you get an edge?
Your player has to play better than their player, obviously, because they're going to know. We know what they're going to do. I mean, they're not hiding it, and they know what we're going to do. They're not, we're not hiding it from them. So this is all about players executing and players getting into the game, and whoever plays the best is going to win.
Rocky, again, your team on Saturday night, I thought for 4 quarters, just flat out wanted it more. I look forward to talking to you face-to-face. You and Rich and I will get a chance to go over this one and also look deeper into the Stanford matchup. Again, the Rocky Long Coaches Show tomorrow, 6 p.m. on Xtra 1360, then 7:30 p.m. kickoff time Saturday night. we'll have that game for you, Aztecs and Stanford. As Rocky just said, mirror images of each other. Rocky, thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right,
thanks,
good
Coach.
stuff.
Good luck.
Thanks.
I cut him off.
You cut him off. He wanted to say thank you. God, I love that guy. He is so tough. I love the imposition of the will. I like facing the mirror image. Who's tougher? Who's going to play better?